What's good? What's good? Y'all already know, man. Welcome back to the channel. Self-Made Life TV, man. Go and hit that like, hit that subscribe. Today we got a different video for y'all. This a topic I kind of been into on a, you know what I'm saying, on a low. Definitely a big topic if you're talking YouTube. Definitely big names in YouTube. And you know they get a lot of hate, but I'm gonna put this disclaimer out. When it comes to people, man, I don't really be caring about what people be going through. I look at people for as motivation and shit like that. So, you know, I'm not in no way in agreement, with anybody or affiliated with anybody. But shout out to the Ace family just for being successful. You know, I will say that. You know, people gonna say what they're gonna say, but I just give them that. Now we are gonna get into this video. First I'm gonna say shout out my boy. Y'all might know his channel, man. He definitely been growing. Spencer Cornelia, whatever. I can't pronounce it right. Hope I ain't butcher your name, but yeah, shout out Spencer, man. He kind of really been keeping me in the loop on this topic. Spencer channel is basically he goes into just a lot of these celebrities and some of their financial advice and different things like that. He break down just a lot of things financially when it comes to a lot of these YouTubers, a lot of these gurus, a lot of these scammers, stuff like that, So what I want to do is this. I'm going to play part of his video, and this might be like a 2-3 part series, but I want to start off by we're gonna and it's fair use by the way. We're gonna watch some of his video, give a little backdrop to my viewpoint of it, and then we're gonna get into the Ace family because I guess they probably been seeing, the talk of the towns, and they actually dropped a video talking about the house. So we're gonna react to both, man. Let's get into this, man. It's that late ship right here. This that third ship. Shout out all about third ship, man. Definitely do not miss them third shift days, but you got to get that bag, man. All right. So let's get into this, man. I'm going to let this play. I might jump in. We ain't going to do the whole video, but I just want to get the point across. And then that way y'all have a little backdrop so when we react to because I want to see if they're capping or not, Like, I ain't got no dog in the fight, but I don't really like the capping, so we're gonna get into it, man.
On social media. In today's video, you'll have a pretty good understanding of why. Here's one of Catherine's recent photos on Instagram with the comment section flooded with mean-spirited comments. Catherine and Austin are great at creating the mirage that their family is perfect and they're an inspiration to others, but look a little deeper and you'll understand why that.
And once again, shout out Spencer, man. Great content. The way he break it down and just connect it, man, great content.
Haters come out when their family is in crisis.
And we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to inspire, change the world. Ace family, we love you.
I wasn't familiar with the Ace family before the Social Gloves event drama became public. Since then, I've been doing quite a bit of digging, and this is a family surrounded by constant drama, lawsuits, and most importantly, what appears to be a habit of screwing other people over. On September 2nd, 2019, a house tour video was released on the Ace family channel showing off their huge $10 million.
Now that's the house, I think, that's the house that, that's the subject of the content right now.
$1 mansion in sunny Los Angeles.
But it's very calming and it's just very good energy in our house.
Good energy, positive vibes only.
Positive vibes only.
When news first hit Keemstar's Twitter fingers that the McBrooms house was going to auction, I used Batch Driven to look into the loans taken out on the property. At the time, I found it really odd that they had 2 loans on the property totaling nearly $10 million. It was a brain fart on my behalf not to look at.
So we already see. I'm just going to keep dropping the updates so we on the same page. 2 loans on the mansion. 2 loans taken out on the mansion.
Who 5 Arch Funding was. Funny enough, at the gym the other night, I had a thought that 5 Arch Funding sounded more like a hard money lender than a traditional lender. Why I was thinking of the McBrooms house loans and not checking out the talent at the gym is probably why I'm crushing it on YouTube and not so much in my dating life. I googled 5 Arch Funding and found what I had expected to be true. They're a hard money lender. Since some of you may not know the difference, hard money loans are expensive loans used by house flippers that almost always have a 1-year payback term. They're considered expensive because the borrower typically pays multiple points at closing and an interest rate of 10 to 12% on an interest-only loan. A 1-year term means the borrower needs to repay the full loan back in 12 months or face penalties. Or even worse, you might get put in timeout like a little T-Mart. At the end of July 2019, the McBrooms took out a hard money loan of $8.85 million from 5 Arch Funding Corp. and another $1 million loan from TMK Development LLC, who I'm assuming is also a hard money lender. What confuses me is why the lenders would loan $9.85 million on a property that isn't worth that. Even hard money lenders will only go up to about 75% of ARV, especially if you don't have any experience in renovating houses. Let's say they had the value of the home.
Damn, I didn't know because I seen this video early. He dropped it a couple weeks ago. The video damn near at 2 million views. So I think the Ace family had to respond. That's crazy as hell. I didn't know this shit got that many views. Damn.
$10 million, that would only be loans totaling $7.5 million. These are interest-only loans, which is why the amount owed is high relative to the overall loan amount. But I'm still shocked at how much money these companies lent for this project. I'm sure the lenders were calculating risk and thought to themselves, the odds of the husband creating a boxing event that will lead to a $100 million lawsuit and the wife screwing over her business partners and facing a lawsuit of similar size has got to be pretty low, so we'll approve the loan. The amount owed is
Now, yeah, when he broke it down like that, that do make sense, man. That's a lot of money to be loaning out. And, I understand they definitely, of course they got what it takes because they got the loans, but we know them funding groups be finessing, man. So let me know, do y'all think that they got finesse as Spencer is kind of relaying to, or do y'all think that it was a good faith loan?
About $9.5 million. At 12% interest, the loan is $95,000 per month interest only. Add on property taxes, which for that property are exactly $10,000 a month. Insurance and maintenance gives you a total monthly cost of well over $110,000 every single month. And that doesn't include the future therapy bills for their children. A few days ago, a channel named Static John went to the auction for the Ace family house and showed that no one was interested in buying.
And then they would sell it here at an auction like this. Usually the opening bid for the house will be exactly what's owed on the house, so whatever the balance is of your loan will be the opening bid. Today they set up opening bid for the Ace family house of a little over $9 million. No one here bought the house, or no one here wanted to buy the house.
No one wants to buy the house because they would have to buy it in cash, it's incredibly overpriced, and no renovations are needed, and because the McBrooms will probably still show up a few times a week to film their videos. I hope you don't mind them filming in your driveway. On a side note, I've made a lot of videos detailing why famous athletes go broke. One of the reasons they do is similar to what the McBrooms did, which is spend an exorbitant amount of money on a custom-made house that no one else values the same as them. When tough times inevitably hit, they can't sell the house, losing all the equity they supposedly had. Why are these two still in their house if they are facing foreclosure? Because the process of getting them...
See, and he's going to kind of get into it, but the breakdown is it was actually two houses. And I guess Austin wanted to combine the houses, but they like, nah, bro, you would get a better deal just grabbing both of them and having both of them separate. But he demanded on getting them built. So he had them custom built and they combined both houses. That's what, made the value higher, which we at the 10 mil. So
out of the house could take a long time. The title of the property is back in the hands of the hard money lender with the first position. My assumption is 5 Arch Funding. 5 Arch will need to evict the McBrooms from the property as they are now the official owner, but I don't see that happening right away. My guess is they're going...
So there you have it right there. And like I said, I ain't got no dog in the race. This ain't no diss video. This just some content, I just want people to see situations, take in the information. And, it might help you move a different way in your life or whatever. So, but there you had it. They don't got the deed to the crib, man. So
going to list the property for sale soon and hope to recoup as much of the money owed as they can. I'm not familiar with the foreclosure eviction process in California, but given that it's California, the McBrooms will probably have free rent for a few months.
All right, Al, you're not going in the pink car today. You're going in the Lambo. Is that okay?
The McBrooms rose to prominence on YouTube within the exploiting your kids for views niche. It's a weird niche because clearly people enjoy this content. The McBrooms have 4.3 billion views on their channel, but they also are only successful because they're using their kids as the main characters against their will.
What are your friends gonna say when you pull up in a Lambo at school?
Nah, I ain't gonna really speak on the kids like that, but I am not a fan of that, man. I know a lot of people do that, and it is what it is, But I am not a fan of the forcing the kids for the content, man. I get it though; it's a bag, and I guess at the end of the day, that money is helping the kids. But I'm just not a fan of that myself.
Oh, they're gonna be playing?
In this ultra cringe video, Austin takes his young daughter to school in a Lambo, hoping to gain the validation of her friends. You can't see her face, but she's looking off in the distance, confused because even she's embarrassed her dad is trying to get cool points from a bunch of 5-year-olds.
Oh, look at the kids. Look at your friends. Oh my gosh. What are you gonna tell them? You should say you got dropped off in an Uber.
I would rather watch fake guru ads on a loop for 24 hours straight than watch this video. How do people enjoy this? I don't get it. Austin pulls up to the school and puts the camera on her friends looking at the car so he can get validation of his success, I guess. The reason why I find this entire story to be interesting is because Austin became a fake guru for a few days as he released a course called How I Became a Millionaire, where he taught students on how to become millionaires using social media. I didn't take the course, but after watching his content and following his business ethics, I can only hope it included a section on how...
Now look, hey, I ain't really, I don't really know the Ace family like that, but Austin getting to the bag, man. He taking the risk and he going crazy, but the boy getting to the bag. I gotta give him that. He know how to get to the bag. He going through what he go through, more money, more problems. But hey, the kid can get to the bag, man.
Hiring lawyers and staying relevant despite having trash content and being mired in controversy. This is Catherine McBroom, the wife, who has also been involved in her own controversy. She's getting sued by TBL Cosmetics Inc., who is the co-founder of her beauty brand 1212 Gateway LLC. I'm about to break down just how easy of a life the McBrooms could have had if they weren't completely incompetent adults. I was as shocked as John Coffey at the end of the Green Mile by how much money Catherine could have made if she didn't screw her co-founders over. Catherine McBroom invested $200...
And like I said, this kind of part one, and we just doing a little backstory. So when we get into their reaction, we're going to compare it, and then y'all let me know if it's cap or not.
$180,000 for a 63% membership interest in 1212 Gateway. Along with its sweat equity, TBL Cosmetics invested $120,000 for a 30% membership interest. Paul Kaiser is an inactive California attorney with whom Catherine McBroom has other business ventures and a personal relationship, is a non-voting silent member with a 7% interest. Paul Kaiser was one of the guys behind the scenes for the Live by Live and Social Gloves fiasco, who was managing Austin. It was really interesting seeing his name here, and I was pretty surprised to see Catherine having access to 70% equity, given that she was only going to put in about 1% of the work. These paragraphs list out that TBL Cosmetics has had previous other product lines. They developed and oversaw the operations. They had a chief scientist devote her efforts to creating a premium product. They had industry expertise, which positioned this company to be successful from the start, and they implemented strategic financial planning and cash flow management. What's so funny to me is when people think these influencers are self-made entrepreneurs, Kylie Jenner, self-made billionaire. What really happens is you have a company...
Yeah, I never believed the Kylie Jenner. She get into the bag, definitely, but I definitely knew they threw some sauce on that.
In the industry, partner with the influencer and make it appear like it's the influencer's company. The influencers are just marketers posting about the product, but literally don't handle any other aspect of the company. The only difference between them and a sponsor is that they have equity in the company they're endorsing. TBL Cosmetics ran 1212 Gateway day after day, building up to the company's initial launch and restock events, ultimately creating proprietary turnkey systems that work exceptionally well. Imagine how great life would be if you could have a company capable of building out a turnkey system for...
But as you hear Spencer breaking it down, man, and even if I don't really know about Austin, but I heard about a couple of the events he did. Like, they done had so many crazy bags that's hard to mess up, and they done fucked up a lot of bags. So it was just like even with her company, all she had to do was sit back and just market and just collect. You're gonna see. Well, I think this ain't the video, but she kind of tweaked with the makeup company, got them suing her. My man's had the crazy boxing event. He kind of just overshot for as he was promising niggas crazy amounts, He ain't really sit down and do the numbers. So he promised all these damn YouTubers these crazy amounts, and the event, didn't do as good. So that's another money situation. And I'm just like, damn, they just had a lot of easy bags, man. A lot of this shit to me could have been avoided, really.
Generating crazy profits on products under your brand, and all you have to do is make a few posts a month about it. The best part, they only want 30% equity. Considering 1212 Gateway was formed less than a year ago, it has performed far beyond expectations and is already a global brand. The level of success enjoyed by 1212 Gateway to date is a direct result of the TBL's leadership and day-to-day management of the company. A lot of people still clown on the idea of being an influencer as a career, but let me tell you a little something. Actual influencers who can drive sales make stupid money, as you'll see right here. At 1212 Gateway's initial launch on December 12, 2020, the company completely sold out of its inventory, selling over $1 million in products within the first 30 minutes. That's without paid advertising, too. Real influencers can build 8-figure companies.
And that's facts, man. Like, people be hating on these influencers, but when it comes to them in marketing and, getting paid for likes, like, people thought it was cap when Kim K said she was making a crazy amount of her IG. Like, man, you build that social following, if it's your lane, if that's something you want, that bag is real. People can laugh all they want, but some of these, they getting more money than your athletes, more money than your celebrities, you know what I'm saying? So
companies in months if the infrastructure is correct. I'm beginning with the backstory so you can see how damaging Catherine's alleged behavior was to this brand and how much money she could have been making. 2 weeks later, 1212 Gateway hosted a restock event which also sold out. 1212 Gateway exceeded its initial predicted revenue and product development metrics. They also succeeded in delivering twice the inventory than what they projected. Just imagine if Austin had as many loyal fans willing to pay for his event as Catherine did for her product. The limited drop and restock events have created buzz and driven up customer demand, and anticipation for more products has continued to build. If 1212 Gateway continues its upward trend, it stands to make $60 million by the end of 2021. Those two were gifted social media success and are still royally screwing everything up. From an objective point of view, their content is
everything I just heard right there. Like I said, all she had to do was market and collect, bro.
Above average in storytelling, editing, or ideas, and the success has been mostly driven by their young kids. The Ace Club was an utter failure. They had a drink called Silly Juice that I don't believe panned out. They had charity events that people call a scam. Austin's Fake Guru course was trash. The Social Gloves event has led to a $100 million lawsuit and no one getting paid. And as you'll see in a second, Catherine basically ruined a potential 9-figure company. They've somehow failed upward and I don't get it. Instead of responding to 1212 Gateway's initial success with appreciation for or continued collaboration with TBL, and apparently under the misimpression that 1212 Gateway was running itself at this point, Catherine McBroom has instead conspired with her family, friends, and other underutilized members or idol of her entourage to stage a takeover of 1212 Gateway's management. I don't know if I should be confused or jealous. Catherine had 63% ownership of a company projected to do $60 million in sales in its first year, was basically turnkey, and didn't require anything from her other than looking cute on Instagram. She must have received the same advice Austin did. Just don't pay anyone and keep the profit to yourself. Paragraph 42 describes that Catherine somehow obtained all the admin access credentials for all of the portals used to run this business, including the Shopify, GoDaddy, and Instagram accounts. It sounds like keeping Catherine away from the admin access credentials was similar to the guards keeping the security camera on Jeffrey Epstein. Like, come on guys, you had one job. In further defiance of the operating agreement, and without warning, Catherine McBroom changed the passwords associated with the accounts and or withheld from TBL all access to the accounts, keeping them for herself. At this point, if you do business with Catherine or Austin McBroom, it's on you for running into trouble. I still don't understand how these two have failed upward to this degree. They lost their house, so maybe it's all coming crashing down, but how did they fumble?
And that's all that. I totally agree with him, man. Been blessed with the crazy bag, and it's just like some people just ain't got no chill, bro. It's just like once you get up like that, I just don't get it, bro. Like
this lottery ticket away.
But I guess trying to keep up with them Joneses, or it just, I don't know. Just from what I'm hearing out of their situation, man, they could have played this a lot smarter. They definitely need to get some better minds in their team, man.
To be clear, Ms. McBroom's misappropriation of the administrative controls is not just a matter of limiting who can log in to view information on the accounts, but continuing to block
Because it sounds like they trying to run a lot of shit themselves.
TBL's access to the accounts, Catherine McBroom is actively precluding TBL from carrying out its management obligations under the operating agreement. This is an interesting business strategy that you won't read about in your business textbooks. Take away access from the company running the entire operation of your brand. All she had to do was exist and make top 1% money for less work than a mug drug dealer has on them. Catherine McBroom has attempted to seize control over 1212 Gateway's customer service operations, aided and abetted by a network of associates who are not employed by 1212 Gateway or approved by its board. On information and belief, these persons include individuals associated with the McBroom family's other failed business ventures. I'm being serious about this family somehow failing upwards into a life consisting of a $10 million mansion, a fleet of exotic cars, and most importantly, opportunities to start 8 and 9-figure companies.
Like they had the Grand Theft Auto. Remember the money code? Remember the money cheat code? They got the money. They had it. They probably low-key still got the GTA money cheat code, and they fucking it up. Like imagine having the GTA money cheat code and you still broke. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck?
Companies, and they still failed. Paragraph 51 explains that Catherine has transitioned 1212 Gateway's product fulfillment to her privately owned facility. Her and her family apparently recently purchased a warehouse and office space that serves her other separately owned business ventures. The lawsuit then went on to explain that the facility isn't big enough to satisfy 1212 Gateway's.
Like I said, all she got to do is market and get the bag. I would go back, but basically what he said was she took some of the merch and put it in her little warehouse instead of just letting 1212 Gateway handle it. The business they're in, let them do the manufacturing and stuff. She took some of the product and started doing it out of her shop.
High volume and fulfillment requirements and isn't able.
Knowing damn well she can't fulfill them type orders, and 1212 is an actual company with the actual infrastructure ready to fulfill the orders.
Able to obtain the same shipping volume discounts. This is like taking a winning lottery ticket straight to a wood chipper because doing things yourself is more efficient in your eyes. Based on current estimates, Ms. McBroom's actions will cost 1212 Gateway an additional $10 million in
$10 million fuck up.
Lost revenue this year alone. Here's a PSA straight from me. If there's any
for no reason
company that wants to handle all back-end operations for a company that will do $60 million in sales and only wants a 30% cut, I'm open for business. I will relinquish my pride and allow you to do all of the work so that I can keep a 70% cut. Since most of these influencer beauty brands require a boob job, I'm stating now that I will not be completing that requirement though. Apparently, Catherine is now threatening to dissolve the company, despite not knowing how to run the company's operations and putting a team in place who have a pretty poor business track record. Ms. McBroom probably assumes that she can simply run the company herself with the help of her people who have time on their hands and space to boot, given the Ace family's other business outcomes. Perhaps Ms. McBroom would have a more accurate understanding if she had participated in all of the board meetings as she was obligated to do. I'm fascinated to see what happens to Austin and Catherine once they lose their house. Everything they do seems to turn into a scam or lawsuit. They will soon no longer have their house, which is really the only visual we have that they're successful. And they have multiple lawsuits that should bankrupt them if justice gets served. If you didn't see my last video on social gloves, I show proof that Austin could have personal financial liability tied to the event. All lawsuits require both sides to be heard, and this is just one, so we should withhold complete judgment until we hear Catherine speak about it. But given that what she and Austin say publicly rarely matches reality, I don't consider her a reliable narrator. I think the negative energy you see going towards the McBroom family for their recent financial struggles is just the outcome of multiple years of the scams and tricks they've pulled on others finally coming back to them. They've somehow massively failed upward, which is probably an indication that people are only tuning in because they're kids and not the parents. When I first started analyzing the Social Gloves fight, I felt like Austin was creating a Ponzi scheme by promoting a Social Gloves 2 before paying the fighters for Social Gloves 1. I think I was right. He needed new profits to pay off old debts. Until his next big event, he'll be left with lawsuits and unpaid debts. And remember, even if they lose their house, they'll still have the orange Lambo to take their kids to school in, where they'll get plenty of validation from the little kids instead of having to deal with all those bad people on the internet.
Hey, Spencer be turned up though. That boy go in, man.
Hoping to see their downfall. With the way they've allegedly treated others, consider me one of them. Thanks for watching. A good sign of...
All right, man. So that's part one. I just want to give y'all a backstory on the Ace family. Part two, we're going to see their reaction video tomorrow, which is right here. So be back in the building for part two, man. Like, subscribe, you already know, comment, share. We go.